Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Simmons, and I'm a tech specialist on the Citrix and Microsoft Alliance team over at Citrix. And one of the questions that I get from time to time is, hey, we've got these cloud PCs, Windows 365, and customers want to know how complicated it is to install the HDX Plus add-on on top of Windows 365. So I thought I'd put together this little series of short videos to explain exactly how easy it is to get it done. And I'm going to show you. All right. Now, in this first presentation, I really want to go through some of the fundamentals, some background information, prerequisites, and so forth. And then I'll have subsequent little short videos that will explain all the steps that it takes to get it done. And as you're going to see at the end of this, it really doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Now, first things first is I am starting off with the real basic stuff that I need to get going here. What do you need for the prerequisites for this? Well, first things first is you need at least one cloud PC. Something that's been set up in the Microsoft Windows 365 platform and being managed with Intune. I've already got all that. So if I come over here to Intune, you can see this is my personal demo environment for the Intune Admin Center. And if I come over here with Dashboard, you'll see I've got nothing. Okay, everything's all happy, but I have no devices. So it's a blank slate right now. On the Citrix side, I have a blank Citrix Cloud tenant. So I've already logged into this with my Citrix credential to log in. It is more or less blank. If I come over here to manage DAS, used to be desktops as a service, now it's a bit more than that. But DAS, if I come back in here, you see I have no machines. I have no integration with Entra ID. I have to log into this with a local admin account that's defined right here. So it's about as blank as it's going to get. I also have Entra Admin Center, formerly Azure Active Directory, right? So it's Entra ID now. And I have a handful of accounts that have been set up in here for demo purposes. So I do have an Entra tenant. So if I come back over here to the prerequisites to get this built, I have to have a Citrix Cloud tenant with HDX Plus for Windows 365 entitlement. I do. That's part of DAS Premium. I have that license. I am good to go. I am a full Citrix administrator, so I have everything I need there. And it says the cloud PCs that will ultimately be created will have to have access to these various URLs down here or they will fail. They just won't provision properly. Now, that's not usually an issue because unless an admin has been locking down the environment, these URLs are open by default. So we don't have to worry about anything unless somebody's gone in there and started, securing the network somewhat, like firewall rules and such. But out of the box, there should be not a problem at all. Now, it says for hybrid Azure AD join deployments. Now, remember, with hybrid, that means that a customer has a traditional Active Directory domain someplace. It could be on premises, it could be inside of Azure, but they've got domain controllers. And in hybrid, what that means is wherever the domain controllers are, on-prem or in Azure, they need to be synchronized with Azure Active Directory, now known as Entra, right? Entra ID. This solution supports cloud-native Entra ID join only. It supports it, but it also supports hybrid Azure AD join, where we're integrating it with a customer's Active Directory domain. To contrast those, I would say that cloud native, okay, Entra ID join only is simple, but has less functionality when it comes to like authentication methods and multi-factor authentication. So there's less options with cloud native, but it's easier to set up. I would say in most cases, small to medium businesses will probably be the most interested in Entra ID native, and larger enterprises are going to be more interested in hybrid. And the reason is the most enterprises are going to be wanting the better flexibility when it comes to authentication methods and such. It's some extra functionality that's there. And they have the IT staff usually on staff to get this done, right? Whereas the smaller businesses, it might not be as important to them and they want to go with the easier solution. In my little demonstration here, I'm going to go through the easy solution because it's still going to give you the basic ideas about what needs to be done. Okay, so what do we need from Microsoft? As I said, we have an Intune entitlement. I do. Okay, Windows 365 Enterprise licenses in the same tenant as Intune. I do. You will see that when we start provisioning the cloud PCs. And I am the global administrator in my Azure tenant, my Intune, platform, and in Entra. So I have all the permissions I need to demonstrate this. As I said, the functionality and flexibility changes a little bit whether you go Azure AD joined or hybrid. If it's Azure AD joined only, or Entra ID, right, you're just going to be able to use Citrix Cloud, Citrix Workspace, the brokering mechanism, and the gateway service. It's a cloud proxy to get to the workloads. If you go hybrid, it unlocks a bit more functionality. Again, I'm going to keep it simple with Azure AD joined. And much like that, with Cloud Native joined, all you're going to do is have the built-in authentication mechanism that comes with Entra ID. If you do hybrid, it unlocks other options like Active Directory, AD plus token, Okta, SAML, and so forth. Once again, we're going to keep it simple in this demo. So it looks like I've got everything I need in order to proceed to get this thing built, okay? And as you're going to see down in here, this is going to lead me to the next sections. If you were a customer trying to follow this guide, what you would do next is just follow the cookbook. Start with 1 and end with 6, and then you're basically done at that point. So that's what I'm going to do here in my presentation is I'm going to break this down into a total of 6 additional steps on top of this one. And I'm going to record each one of these as I do it. So if you ever want to come back and review it without looking at everything, you can just zoom right into this one section and then focus on that one thing as you do it. All right. So there's your overview. There's all the prerequisites we've made, and we're ready to start building it out. So come on back, and I'll start with enabling the Citrix connector for Windows 365 in the next section.